Today I'm going to talk about how to teach your child to read before they enter school. As you know, children don't come with instruction manuals, but as a parent, you are considered your child's first teacher. You're the one that taught them how to walk, how to talk, how to eat, and get dressed, and even the dreaded potty training routine. Not to mention many other skills before they even enter kindergarten. And now you're asked to teach them how to read too? Isn't that the school's job? Where do you start? Children need to know what they are trying to learn and how useful it is. When you taught them how to walk, they learned that they were getting a toy or something else that they may have wanted. When you taught them how to talk, they learned that they were communicating their needs and their wants. Well, reading and writing is no different. In order to get children to get ready for kindergarten and ready to learn to read and write, parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, all need to learn and teach emergent literacy. That is, teach them the importance of reading and writing. Now, most children that are ready for kindergarten and ready to learn to read and write have already had 1,000 hours of literacy before they entered kindergarten. Wow, that seems like a lot. But think about this. If there are 365 and a quarter days in a year, and they have to be 5 years old before they enter kindergarten, that is 133,407 days before kindergarten. If you take that times 8 hours, because you can't teach them to read the whole time, that is 1,067,260 hours that you have the ability to teach them to read and write. So 1,000 hours doesn't seem like a lot, does it? Here are some easy strategies that you can do if you're not already doing it. For example, read to children while they're sitting in your lap. Talk to them about reading and writing. Let them pretend read a book you have read 1,000 times. And let them watch you read and write, like writing a letter to Grandma and Grandpa, paying your bills, reading a recipe or a map, or even road signs and other things as well. Here are some important concepts that you should know before you teach your child to read. First, you need to know what reading and writing are for. You need to know print concepts. You need to know about phonological and phonemic awareness. Don't worry, it's not as scary as it looks. You also need to know concrete words. And of course, everybody knows that you need to know your letters, names, and sounds before you enter kindergarten. There are two groups of children that enter kindergarten. There are those children that have had 1,000 hours of literacy before kindergarten, and those without. Those with 1,000 hours of literacy before kindergarten know that reading and writing have a purpose in everyday life and not just in school. Once a child understands that, they have a special drive to read and write. And you know, children are like sponges. They soak up everything that they see. Those without the 1,000 hours of literacy before kindergarten think that reading and writing is just complete schoolwork. So they're not as interested to read outside of school hours, and they don't have the same drive. So it's as important to show them why we read and write outside of school. Now, print concepts. Print, obviously, is what you read and write. Print is talk written down. There are certain conventions that a child needs to know about reading so that they can be successful. For example, they need to know about the front cover, the back cover, and the spine of the book. They need to know that you read from the front of the book to the back of the book. At the front of the book, you can teach them about the title and how to predict what the story is going to be about. That gets children ready and raring to listen to a book. Also talk about the author and the illustrator and what important jobs that they have. Otherwise, there wouldn't be any picture books or books at all. Also, you can encourage your child to become an author or an illustrator while they complete art projects for you as well. Another convention is teaching them to read from top of the page to the bottom of the page, and also reading from left to right. There's also jargon that we use every day as teachers to teach children how to read and write. Jargon is the words we use to talk about reading and writing, like word, sentence, sound, and letter. Different examples is you could say how many letters are in the word bat, or how many words are in the sentence about the bat, or what sound does bat start with. If children are not exposed to this jargon ahead of school, it is very confusing to them. So, it is very important that you use these words as you're teaching them to read and write. Phonological and phonemic awareness. They are big words, but they are very important to teaching reading and writing. Phonological awareness is the ability to separate sentences into words and words into syllables. They may not know that term or definition, but they know how to use it. So if they're going to separate words into syllables, they might clap out the syllables. If they're able to separate sentences into words, they can point to each word. Phonemic awareness, on the other hand, is the ability to recognize that words are made up of sounds and how to manipulate those sounds. Again, children may not be able to define this like I did, but they will be able to do the work. Phonemic awareness is completely oral. They have to listen to it before they can actually complete the tasks given. Here are some examples. Can you hear beginnings of a words like b as in bat? Or can you hear the phonemes in the word bat? B, a, t are the phonemes. Concrete words are just like they say, concrete, meaning that you cannot sound them out. You have to see it by sight. In school, these are called sight words. A child before entering kindergarten is not going to know a lot of different sight words. They are, however, going to learn the words that are important most to them. For example, their very own name. They might know mom or mommy, dad or daddy, I love you, or I hate you. They should know about 15 words in print before they enter kindergarten. We have known probably our whole lives that children should know all 26 upper and lowercase letters before they enter kindergarten. They should also know most of the sounds, at least the ones that are most important to them. So how do you do this at home? Don't worry, you've already done some of these things. Some things that you can do are shared readings of predictable books. You could create a predictable chart with your child. You could also provide a print-rich environment at home. Let your child see you read and write, and then let them read and write as well, and accept whatever they do. It might be a little messy at first, but it's okay. Predictable books. A predictable book is a book that a parent, grandparent, aunt, uncle, brother, or sister reads over and over again, to the point where they've actually memorized it, but that's okay. Once a child starts learning to read the book, they help read it. It gets them interested in reading and prepares them for school. A predictable book also has repeated phrases, rhyming, refrains, and pictures. It has 3 criteria. The book must be predictable, it must be appealing to children, and it can take you somewhere conceptually. So, here's what you do. You have a book that has a predictable phrase in it. A parent can read the book or read until they get to the predictable phrase and then say, let's say, Johnny, this is your job is to read this every time. So I'll tell you first and then you should read it after that. And some very good books for this is Goodnight Moon, Are You My Mother, or Brown Bear, Brown Bear. A predictable chart works on writing and reading. The chart is created both by the parent and the child. All the sentences begin with the same stem, and the child's response finishes the sentence. So let's say you were going to write about things your child might like. So the title would be Things I Like. The parent part is I like, and the child's part is anything that he may like. And there's several other examples that you can use as well. Provide a print-rich environment at home. Have you ever taken a foreign language where the teacher has note cards of Spanish words or German words or whatever kind of words all over the classroom? Well, you can do the same thing at home. Put labels on everything, and it teaches children that everything has a name and names are important. It also connects them that every name can be written down and read. Also provide magazines, newspapers, and books, or even cookbooks for them to look at as well. Let children see you read and write. They want to mimic you. They want to know that reading is important before they even do it. And talk to them about reading and writing as you do it. Also, let them write. They may have bad spelling, very scribbly, or no spacing, but that's okay. You don't want to make them afraid to read and to write. Don't forget, don't fret over the 1,000 hours. There's plenty of time for you to do some or all of these activities. The internet is a great resource. They can help you find nursery rhymes so you don't have to buy books. They can help you find phonemic awareness activities or phonological activities that are free or very inexpensive. So, if you are seeing this anywhere but my website, again, my name is Stena Schmitt, and my website is saintstrainingandtutoring.weebly.com. Or contact me, Stena Schmitt, at the number or email below. If you would like information about the references I used today, please refer to Phonics They Use, Words for Reading and Writing by Patricia M. Cunningham, and have a great day.